In this video we're making one of the Angry Birds. I think this one's called Bomb. So I've just got some black modelling paste. You can use fondant if you prefer fondant. I just think this dries nice and hard. So I've just got the Renshaw's one. And I'm just going to roll it into a ball. So once I've got my black ball, I'm going to mix a tiny bit of my black with some white to make a grey. Taking my grey, I'm going to roll it out nice and thin. If you find it sticks to your board, just add a bit of corn flour to stop it sticking. So we've rolled that nice and thin, and what we're going to do is just cut out a circle shape which will go on his tummy. So we'll just check that fits on there. Yep, so that should fit nicely. A little bit of water on that, and we're just going to stick it nearish to the bottom. I've got water all over my fingers so you can see that I've left little imprints on there. So don't go overboard with the water like I have done. And we're going to get a smaller round cutter now to cut out 2 more circles for his eyes. So I've just got a round plunger cutter here. So when you're using these, just hold on to the bottom bit, don't press this bit when you're cutting them out. Once you've cut it out, you can push this to release it from the cutter. Okay, so these are now going to be our eyes. So I'm just going to position them on to check that they will fit. And then I'm going to stick a small amount of water on the back of each one. I'm going to push those into place. Maybe stick them a tiny bit higher up actually. Like that. So I want 2 small balls of white for his eyes. Just check that they're both the same size before you stick them on. And we're just going to push those onto our grey bits. Just make sure the grey's got a little bit of water on for them to stick. And then in your whites you want 2 tiny round black dots. So these are really tiny. If you prefer to paint them on in food colouring, you can paint them on, that's fine, whichever you find easier. Now I'm going to have to pick them up with a paintbrush I think, because they're going to struggle to get them on my hands. And I'm just going to squash those in place. So we're going to take some yellow now for his beak. So for this one we want the majority of our yellow for the bottom of his beak. And what I'm going to do is just create a ball. I'm just going to squash it slightly onto my board so it's got a flat side. And then what I'm going to do is put a bit of water on the back of it. I'm going to push this onto the face, just below where his eyes are, flattening another side so you see the flat bit is on the top. And then taking our other bit, we might need to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to squash this down a little bit into a little bit of a triangle shape if we can. I don't know how well you can see that on there. And we're just going to have a look size wise for how this fits against the other one. We're just going to widen it a tiny bit. I'm just going to stick that onto the top of our other one, like so. I'm just going to press it down with my knife to make sure it sticks on. So he now needs some eyebrows. I'm going to save a tiny bit of the yellow for the end of the tuft of his hair, which we're also going to need a bit more black for. So taking a little bit of black, we're going to roll so that you've got a thin bit at the bottom. Mine just wants to crack a little bit. If it starts cracking, just add a bit of Trex. So it's almost like a bit of a triangle shape is that. And we're going to just put a bit of water on the very end of it, the wide end, and I'm just going to try and create a bit of a triangle shape with this that we're going to put onto the end. Or you can stick it on the top actually if it fits onto the top. Try and square it off a little bit at the end if you can. Now if you want to let that dry before pushing it into the top of him, that's absolutely fine. If like me you're not very patient, you can always stick a small hole into his head and then slot that into the hole like that. Okay, now if you stand yours upright it will fit in better, because I've got mine on the side, on his back even, so you can see him. You might find it falls out a little bit. So I'm going to use a bit of red now for his eyebrows, and I'm just going to roll a nice long sausage shape, which we're just going to flatten ever so slightly, like so. And I'm just going to cut 2 triangles now for his eyebrows. Now these might be a little bit big, so we'll try them on for size. If you can get them to stay. And if you are happy with them, we're just going to put a little bit of water above where his eyes go, and then we're just going to push these into place. So above, just above each eye. Don't know how well you can see it on here. With him being black, I think it's a little bit more difficult to see on the camera. So that's him done. Have a look at my other Angry Birds videos, because they're quite easy to do and they make ideal little cake toppers or cupcake toppers. And have a look on my Facebook page and have a look through my cakes for ideas and what you can use them on. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.